Kimraha Huladunya, Fauchagu, Ye Olde Scots the Celtic podcast. On today's show, we'll introduce you to some regular verbs in Feuchamaich Gaidhlig. And we'll talk about Conn of 100 battles in our Celtic history break. And I'll tell you about the Blue Men of Minch in Everyday Celtic Ways. Throughout the program, we'll hear music from the Rankin family, Tidelines, Karen Matheson, and Julie Murphy. And as always, it's a wee bit of Irish trivia to test your knowledge to start us off. Now, St. Patrick, he was never canonized by the Pope, which means he wasn't a real saint. Give me his real name, though, in either the Brythonic or the Latin. All right, Feuchamaich, let's kick this thing off. Enjoy.
And Jack Rugek Rollin Steel Gunt Corn a Beast and Taki Shown Nura Yiket Yehen Yowl had Gacket Morning Crackin' it Hirio Legis Omo Clea Town Sakariche Hatu Nakalakan Ibon Yawi Hain and Bariche Eternally kes blenur a chayin ugu garit lesh Ua legun rowe turler sana brood examinig Idio legis omo crea town sakariche Hatu nakalakan mi gon mi hain and barike Gure Finnegan Churantus mian min pool to Valiklesh Guher Keher Kruyan Oors Morungun Gianni Taran Good Hirio Legis Omo Crea Town Sakariche Hatu Nakalakan mi gon mi hain and barike Nur a hashik I gachruig, vitja cool a clackin yek. Sound her strawl and drish good jum bakru uwe the spavin yek. Irio legis omo crea town sakariche. Hatu nakalakan mi gon mi hain and barike. Chekach lesh gundal musayan nars and charikach. Stan feichamugu shieri brachamacher braia balakam. Irio legis omo crea town sakariche. Hatu nakalakan mi gon mi hain and barike. Hatu nakalakan mi gon mi hain and barike.
That was Inchachrua, the Red Horse by the Rankin family. And now, Hot and Tom and Feuchamaich Gaidhlig, it's time for Let's Try a Little Gaelic. I do not represent myself as an authority on the Gaelic language, only someone who loves learning it and who wants to help others in their journey of learning Gaelic. What I teach comes right from the textbooks of well-respected Gaelic teachers, and I'm just trying to have something fun and interesting and hopefully informative and educational. Alright, today we're going to discuss regular verbs, and as always I'll display on the screen what I am discussing. So, Tashik Shin, let's begin. Alright, regular verbs past tense. Now you may have noticed that whenever you see a new verb, two forms are given. The imperative or the command form and the present participle or the verbal noun form. It is important to learn both forms because the imperative is the basis for forming other verb tenses. To form the past tense of regular verbs, simply aspirate the imperative form. It's that simple. And I'm going to give you a few examples. Alright, the imperative or the command is tok or lift. And then present participle or the verbal noun, toggle, lifting. And in the past tense, hog, I lifted. Chado hok me, I did not lift. Endo hok me, did I lift? And nachdo hok me, didn't I lift? Now, let's move on to the next one. Imperative command is Chase for stand. The present participle or the verbal noun is a chasive, standing. Past tense is haste, I stood. Kado haste me, I did not stand. Endel haste me, did I stand? And Nakdo haste me, didn't I stand? Alright, we'll go on to the next one. The imperative or the command is polk for kiss. Present participle or verbal noun, a polkig, kissing. Past, folk me a, I kissed him. Kado folk me a, I did not kiss him. Endo folk me a, did I kiss him? Nakdo folk me a, didn't I kiss him? Well, just so you know, I didn't kiss anybody. The imperative command, savage, on this next word, means fight. Present participle or the verbal noun, a savage, fighting. Past tense, savage, me, I fought. Savage me lay, I fought with. You just add the name in there. Savage me lay, Ian. Okay. Kado savage me, I did not fight. Endo savage me, I did fight. Nakdo savage me, didn't I fight? Alright, move on to the next one. And our last one for today. Imperative command, aber, or work. Present participle or the verbal noun, acharber, working. So, the past would be, oh, I hate this one. Whenever they put that DH in front of a word, it always throws me a loop. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. Chaber, I worked. Kado chaber, me, I did not work. Endo chaber, me, did I work? Nakdo chaber, me, didn't I work? Alright, now at this point, it's important that you note the two different ways you have learned to form the past tense in Gaelic. You've got Vamia polkig, I was kissing, which is the verb to be plus the present participle. And then you've got folk me, I kissed, which is just the imperative, which is aspirated. Alright. Now, I'll give you a few sentences here to translate into English. Chado, holk me, and ku von anlar. Number 2, nachdo hes ian von achriv. 3, ando folk peki ian aror. 4, shavich me lesh and chiesk and jay. 5, shavich me lesh do raher and Jew. And 6, chaber me a hulala. And that's it for Feuchamaich Beagan Gaidhlig. But before I go, anyone within the St. Louis area interested in a weekly Scottish Gaelic class, please check out the St. Louis Gaelic Facebook page for info, or comment and I will contact you and give you all the details. Alright, that's it for today. Enjoy.
Some bjarlinje vi, kutu I gevaget, kun ristig nja stri, tro ete vulle kutachi arkni, kutachi arkni. Kava nicht gedi, maar vader gulde huisjes, genoeg visje vocht, nam vallig se gietjen, trogade is tocht, zo'n bloedische gienelbus, hami en och. Trovete vulle gudachiarki, genaatje voor jalig zijn berlingen wie, guduige vagen, gebediersloch nostri. Trovete vulle gudachiarki, arkie, gudachiarki. More farsing en mag het ze ween. Oh, ik ken er ook kiesje, dit haar je niks teen. Ach, ik zie die hele leoden die heen. Mogul ha je jingelt, dus Jimmy en fjerst. Weer tu de schoslanige jalla van juist. Het jelle mes ranken ze tuigne karst. De vion en dagen de berst is de berst. Trovete vulle gudachiarki, genachtje voor jalig zijn berlingen wie, guduige vagen, gebediersloch nostri. Trovete vulle gudachiarki, arkie, gudachiarki, arkie.
That was Cothra by Tidelines. Next, we're going to delve into the rich history of the Celtic past in the Celtic History Break. Today's topic is Conn of 100 Battles, or Conn Gaidhlig. Now, Conn of 100 Battles, the King of Ireland, was son of King Feuchamaich, the lawgiver. He ascended the throne about 123 AD. His greatest enemy was the King of Munster, Owen More. They fought bitterly, and finally Conn was obliged to yield Ian More half of Ireland. The country was divided into two halves, the line extending from Dublin to Galway. Conn's northern half was called Leithin, Conn's half. More's southern half, Moy's half. Although Ireland was divided for only a short time after Ian's defeat by Gall MacMorny at the Battle of Maylena, Conn again ruled the whole of Ireland. Now, Conn of 100 Battles, after the heroic days of Coniper and Cuchulainn, the Red Branch declined. Their great force was, as it were, spent and used up. Then Tara began to become great and conspicuous. Tara is a large green round hill on the southern bank of the Boyne. From its top one can see most of Meath. By slow degrees the kings of Tara and the surrounding rich plains began to rule far and wide, and gather under the authority of many distant kings. The first of these was Conn of 100 Battles, a huge and fierce warrior, red-haired with mighty limbs, headlong and impetuous, a man blazing with ceaseless energy, who seldom or never was out of his battle harness. Of him the bards sang, "His march was the rush of springtide, and his journeying the evacuation of territories, and the whole earth was filled with his glory." But in his fiery soul there were springs, too, of sweet affection. Once he set his foster brothers as ambassadors to a neighboring kingdom. They were slain by the king who he had sent them to. It was that night when the news of the slaughter was brought to Conn. He sat down, in his wrath and grief, without uttering one word, chewed down the ashen half of his great blade, and swore before light broke in the morning that king would be dead. Yet he did not leave. He did not leave to seek vengeance. He just sat there. "News travels faster than vengeance," he uttered, when asked. And by dawn the other king, sure enough, had been slain in his sleep. His people feared the wrath of Conn of 100 Battles. A friendlier king took the throne and was a staunch ally to Conn from then on. The whole point of sending an ambassador to a neighboring kingdom, and he received the same result. Such was Conn of 100 Battles, who exalted Tara over all cities, and from whose loins sprang innumerable kings, powerful and famous. His name survives in the name of one of Ireland's modern provinces, Connacht, or Con-Uch, meaning children of Conn. Alright. Now Conn once had dealings with a phantom prince. Now of a morning Conn of 100 Battles fared at sunrise to the ramparts of the royal fort of Tara, accompanied by his 3 druids and his 3 bards, for he rose early to watch the skies, so that no hostile aerial beings should descend upon Erin. Unknown to him, while standing in his wonted place this morning, Conn trod upon a stone, and then immediately it shrieked beneath his feet, so that it could be heard all over Tara and throughout all of Breagia. His druids, after many days, discovered and told him on the same spot that this was the Lee of Fail, the Stone of Fail. The number of its shrieks told the number of kings of his race who would succeed him on the throne. Conn stood musing on the revelation, when suddenly a mist arose and enclosed them, enveloping them in such darkness that they could not see each other standing right next to one another. Then, in a deep silence, they heard the tramp of a cavalier approach, and thrice a spear was cast rapidly towards them, coming each time closer. The druid cried aloud in protest, "It is a violation of the sacred person of a king to cast spells at Conn and Tara." The cavalier disclosed himself, saluted the king, and invited everyone to his mansion. There, on a noble plain, they entered a royal court, and beheld a beautiful princess. Before her was a silver vat full of red ale, a golden ladle, and a golden cup. The cavalier, assuming the seat at the head of the table, bade all his guests to be seated. The princess presented Conn with the bare ribs of a giant ox and a giant boar, and the vessels of gold and silver, then filled his cup from the ladle. She asked the knight who was who had returned from the dead, to whom she should give the cup. He answered, to Conn. The question was then repeated time after time, and the phantom prince named all the kings in succession who should come after Conn, and who should inherit the sovereignty of Tara. Now Conn met someone named Feuchamaich. Now Feuchamaich was of the fair body. She was wife of a celebrated Tuath Danann personage, Lebrad of the quick-handed sword, having committed adultery with Gair, one of his sons of Manan, MacLear, is condemned by the latter to be burnt or banished. His council having recommended the more lenient alternative, Feuchamaich is placed in a boat and sent adrift to the sea. She succeeds, however, in reaching the hill of Howth, where she finds the monarch of Eru, Conn of 100 battles. In great grief for the loss of his wife Ethne, who had recently died, assuming the name of Delev Cave, or the comely form, and representing herself as the daughter of a certain Morgan, a British prince, she induces Conn to marry her. During her first year's residence at Tara, a blight comes on the country, and there is dearth of corn and milk. The Druids, on being consulted, assign as the cause of the blight the crime of Conn's wife, and that it could only be removed by slaying the son of an undefiled couple, or in other words, the son of a virgin wife, and sprinkling his blood on the doorposts and the land of Tara. Conn accordingly goes in search of such a youth, and after wandering over the seas, he comes to an island where he finds one. By false representations he induces him to accompany him to Ireland, and his parents to sanction his journey. As the youth is about to be slain, a cow with 2 bellies, followed the mother of the boy wailing, appears on the scene. The woman recommends that the cow should be killed instead of the boy, and its blood sprinkled on the doorpost of Tara, which was accordingly done. Now, having eluded death many times in battles, Conn, he was eventually slain in 157 AD by Cherbrid Chirach, king of Ula, at Tuath Artemis, near Tara, while preparing to celebrate the festival of Tara. He was buried at Brú na Bóinne, under a stone cairn, and mentioned in the Dinasonic, the Irish Chronicles. Conn of 100 battles went on to be the ancestor of the families of O'Neill, O'Donnell, O'Kelly, O'Malley, O'Flaherty, Maguire, and many more, including Somerled. He was succeeded by King Conair II. And that is all about Conn of 100 battles. Hope you enjoyed it.
Smoje dzianu sarcian mi hes monayan bekan vis gargaunan nush gargaunan shia shingrechgach ach grach brúche pian Alekcha anju monoi snachani misha oi shechoi Maskvir chine tigre han hoi Koya dusa a hirna orletros Shine fana chesne grein nur jesi an artsen sver shine kar medach le fuch mi anich sar skette Der kram salupre garbia Dosta nos da vaias gubie ne lekan tolk puanach gule
That was Ernie von Hickrich by Karen Matheson. Today, it's time for Everyday Celtic Ways, a look into how our Celtic heritage is still very much a part of our everyday lives. Today, we're going to tell you a story about the Scottish legend of the Blue Men of Minch by Douglas MacQueen. The Outer Hebrides, also known as the Western Isles, Eland Sear, is an island chain made up of 200 islands in a 130-mile archipelago off the northwest coast of mainland Scotland. They form part of the Hebrides, separated from the Scottish mainland and from the Inner Hebrides by the waters of the Minch, the Little Minch, and the Sea of the Hebrides. Alright. The Minch, also known as the Little Minch, is the Minch's southern extension. The legend also tells that the Minch is home to a clan of mythical blue men. Most of the time, the Blue Men of Minch swim the seas without a care in the world, but sometimes sleep in underwater caves. While the Blue Men slept, the weather could be fine and the seas calm. However, when awake, they could conjure up storms whenever they wanted. These creatures, that are the size and shape of humans, are very strong and can be seen swimming and diving with pleasure when the seas are rough. Following the boats that are navigating the waters of the area, they can be friendly towards humans, but this can be dependent upon their mood and if they are treated with respect. Donald Alexander Mackenzie was a Scottish journalist and folklore expert, and described the Blue Men in his book Wonder Tales from Scottish Myth and Legend. The strait, which lies between the island on Lewis in the Shant Islands is called the sea stream of the Blue Men. They are of human size, and they have great strength. By day and by night they swim around, and between the Shant Islands and the sea there is never at rest. The Blue Men wear blue caps and gray faces, which appear above the waves that they raise with their long, restless arms. In summer weather they skim lightly below the surface, but when the wind is high, they reveal themselves in the storm and swim with heads erect, splashing the waters with the mad delight. Sometimes they are seen floating from the waist out to the sea, and sometimes turning round like porpoises when they dive. People of the Outer Hebrides are rightly proud of their Celtic culture, history, and folklore. Many locals viewed the Blue Men as helpful if treated with care and with due regard. Legend tells of ale being poured into the water as a gift to persuade the Blue Men to leave seaweed on the beach as fertilizer. Encouragingly, the benevolent side of the Blue Men's nature is also undertaken by the traditional of the locals lighting of a candle by the sea on the night of the Celtic festival of Samhain. However, it is also said that the Blue Men of Minch are a personification of the often treacherous waters that they inhabit. Like the seas, their mood can change quickly, and they can cause ships to founder and their crew and passengers to perish. Wow. If the Blue Men gather to attack a ship, it is said that they will shout to the captain of the vessel, challenging and threatening in verse. They engage in a rhyming duel, reciting a poem to the master of the vessel, demanding that the verse is completed. If the skipper completes the rhyme successfully and achieves the last word, the ship may be spared. If the captain fails in the task, then the Blue Men will attempt to overturn the ship and capsize it. In this way, it has been said that some captains have escaped disaster on the seas by the sharpness of their wit and their tongue, while those less fortunate are left to perish in the cold and raging waters of the Minch. Here is a description of such a challenge between the chief of the Blue Men and the captain of a vessel, as described by Donald Alexander Mackenzie. I'm going to start off with the chief of the Blue Men. He calls up, "Man of the black cap, what do you say as your proud ship leaves the brine?" Skipper answers, "My speedy ship takes the shortest way, and I'll follow you line by line." Chief of the Blue Men, "My men are eager, my men are ready to drag you below the waves." Skipper answers, "My ship is ready, my ship is steady. If it sank, it would wreck your caves." The chief of the Blue Men, having been answered strongly and with confidence by the skipper of the vessel, let the ship sail away in safety. Now, if you are traveling in Scotland and crossing the seas of the Minch, remember the legend of the Blue Men of Minch. We wish you safe passage, but if you look into the sea and get the merest glimpse of a blue shadow, be ready with your rhyming skills. And that's it for Everyday Celtic Ways. Well, that's it for today's show. I hope you liked it. I'm trying to keep it interesting, informative, and fun. For me, anytime you can infuse something Celtic in your day, that's a good day. Now, I would like to thank everyone for all the support and kind words, the likes, and the new subscribers. Top 11 Harrison. Thank you, friends. Now, before I let you go, the answer to today's trivia question is, what is St. Patrick's real name? And in Brythonic, it's Maewyn Succat. And, of course, in Latin, it's Magnus Succatus. Wow. All right. Remember to check out Gaelic for Sassenachs on Facebook. Do that for all. Getting Gaelic in your newsfeed every day. Duolingo.com. LearnGaelic.net, acgaamerica.org, and of course my YouTube channel, The Olde Scot, for Celtic podcasts, for Learn a Gaelic song, and much, much more. Marshall Leave and Drozda, bye for now. I'll let you go with a song by Julie Murphy called Lambs in the Fold from the Authentic Scottish Castle Music CD.